GotAUkulele returns with a brand I've been looking at regularly for quite some time now, back to 2013 in fact. Here's a new one, keep watching. Yeah, welcome back to GotAUkulele. It's review day, as ever, with a summary video review to accompany the full written review. You'll always find that linked below the video. Bunch more links down there as well, where you can do what these people have done. This is my weekly thank yous to people who have contributed to the site to help keep it going, because I'm not a commercial enterprise. This is a private thing, an independent thing. I don't get paid by the brands and stores, so the only reason I can give you these regular reviews is with the very kind thanks to the people who do this. If you want to help, you'll find some links down there. You can do it directly through YouTube as well. Buy me a coffee, Patreon would be much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. And for nothing at all, you can subscribe to the channel. That really helps out too. It gets the visibility of these videos out there, and if you hit the bell symbol, you'll get notified of new stuff that comes along if you like what you see. Okay, yeah, this is a brand. Long time since I first met the guy who's behind this brand. Back to 2013, making me feel really old, which was the first time he sent me one of these. He's a really nice chap. The brand is called Noah. It's a British brand set up by a guy called Matt Cohen, who used to live in Vietnam, and in his time in Vietnam made connections with a luthier over there who he now works with and has been working with for well over 10 years to build ukuleles in Vietnam to his specs, brings them over to Britain, puts them out under the Noah name. He's always putting regular new ones out, and they always get better each time I look at them, which is really nice because it shows you that Matt listens to people, listens to constructive criticism. I love brands that do that. This is a brand new one. It's only just gone up on his website. In fact, it may not even be on his website yet today. This is the Noah Baby Tenor. That's a first for Noah. This came about as a result of something I think a lot of people don't realise about Noah, which is that he makes custom models. You can get in touch and specify something and have it built. And a customer had asked for a baby tenor, which is to say, or rather a skinny-bodied instrument. And he started thinking, he says, we can probably do something with that and fit it into the main line. And that's what this is. So what we have is a standard 17-inch scale tenor ukulele, but with a really small body. I mean, that's sort of concert-size body, I would say, but also really thin front to back as well. So it's a thin line, little concert body with a 17-inch scale tenor neck. That's interesting, and I think it looks really cute because of it. It's a really beautiful dimensions instrument. I don't know what it is about that just really sort of works for me. It's really nice. It's really nice. Into the specs, as ever with Noah, handmade in Vietnam by a luthier, Mr. Tan, I think his name is, and all solid tone woods. So we have solid spruce on the top here, some really two pieces, really nice sort of dark and light grain with that spruce. Sorry about the light here. Can I get this a bit brighter? There we are, and that is paired with the classic pairing of Indian rosewood on the back and sides. The wood grains get better and better with Noah. This is a really nice one, just really, really nice pairing, that chocolate and pale like coffee and cream. And it's a classic combination, very bright sounding top from spruce, darkened off with the rosewood on the back and sides. That's a pretty combo. I really like that on a small little body. The bridge is made of that Vietnamese hardwood called gogomat, which I think it translates as honeywood. And it's the same style as we saw on the Noah Delta concert. Looks kind of like a reverse moustache. It's very attractive. It's a pin bridge. These are handmade instruments. They're not made on a factory production line with CNC machines and things like that. They're carved by hand. And as I always say with Noah, you will find tooling marks, carving marks within it. You can see it a bit on the inside of the bridge here. If such things bother you, go and get a factory uke. If they don't, like they don't me, because it makes me know that this is made by somebody. It's still pretty tidy, but you can see where he's gone in with the chisels and whatnots and sanded it down. I don't mind that. Pin bridge, as I say, fitted with a straight topped bone saddle. The decoration on Noah's does kind of vary a lot. I mean, I know Matt does use a lot of abalone, and he says his buyers really like it, so what do I know? But I'm not a fan of abalone, but I think this is really, really classy. So around the front and back, you've got rosewood binding, and also these pale maple strips that go around it, plus down here, and the double strip on the back. I think that works really well. You've got black and white purfling around the top edge, and a rosewood inlaid plus purfling sound hole rosette as well. I think it all looks really, really classy and doesn't sort of detract or look gaudy or sort of Elvis. It's I think it's attractive. Again, as I say, all inlaid by hand. So if you want absolute perfection, you do see occasional little flaws in the inlays with Noah's. As I say, such things don't really bother me, but it would be wrong of me, as Matt knows, to not mention them. It doesn't bother me at all. But you're not going to get absolute perfection where something is hand carved and inlaid. They just show that it's been made by a human. Inside is very tidy, regular braces, notched linings, not much more to say about that. Nice inside there. The neckwood wasn't specified on the specs he sent me, but I think like several other Noahs, it's maple. We've got a rosewood cap here. The only joint in it is at the heel. It's a solid piece all the way up through the headstock. I don't know whether it's a geographical thing, but I find that the maple that Noah use is kind of much darker and more variable in colour. It's not that really glassy white maple that you see on like Fender guitar necks. So you do get little sort of marks in the wood here and there. Again, if such things bother you. But I do rather like that grain that's showing on the back. It's just always a darker maple. Is it a Vietnamese thing? Matt will let me know, I'm sure. Tapers off to a kind of rounded back profile, not too much, and nice because it's just sort of one piece. It's just nice and smooth. It transitions into the headstock. But I'm really pleased to see he's gone with a more tenor style nut width, which is just over 36mm, just nearly 30mm from G to A. So nice roomy neck, nice long roomy neck on a small little body. The fingerboard, more Gogomat. This is in really good condition, really sort of nicely oiled. You will see tooling marks in it here and there, as I say, always, where you can see where he's rubbed it back and finished it, and that's okay with me. As I say, would be wrong with me not to mention it. But although, as I say, the Noahs get better on this front every time I see them, and this is a really good example. For example, I didn't mention that the body's covered in a gloss, and bar a little bit of pooling around here, it's pretty well done. You can see how thin it is on the top here where it matters. You can see the sort of ridges of the spruce top in it, so it looks kind of like it's got a sort of a not a UV, what's it called, that natural finish where it sort of soaks into the wood. Very nice. What you'll notice about that fingerboard, getting aside from myself there, no outward facing position markers, which was a deliberate choice by Matt, and I like that minimal look. And if you're worrying about whether you'll find your way around, don't worry, there are position dots on the side at 3, 5, 7, 10, double 12th and one at the 15th. They're the ones you see when you're playing. So the outward ones are more for decoration. I can see those, I know exactly where I am. So that's fine by me. It's edge bound as well, so you don't feel the fret ends. They're dressed very well. 18 of those and 14 to the body. Okay, beyond that bone nut, this is the more standard knot slot head that Noah used, which I prefer actually on the Noahs. I'm not a fan of slot heads that much. It's skinny, it's kind of Coke bottles shape, isn't it? I think like the Dan Electro guitars are rather like that, faced in more rosewood and the Noah logo inlaid in kind of a pearl. The tuners are open gears with black buttons. They are not branded, so I don't know what they are. The gearing mechanism looks good. They are not sloppy to turn, there's no play in them. It's quite the opposite actually, they're quite stiff. So I would look at a tuner change, Matt. I think these are a little bit sticky. They work and they hold the tuning just fine, as all gears will, and they've certainly not got any play or slop on them, which is really what matters. So they're not the best, but they're all right. Okay, I've seen much worse. I'd rather they were stiff than be sloppy. Strings, in standard spec, these all come with Ukulele strings, but this one's arrived with Worth Browns, which is an optional upgrade. You get the usual padded gig bag that all Noahs come with, and his pricing is always delivered for free in the UK, and I'll come on to international in a moment. And the standard spec with the Ukulele strings on this would be $289. And if you want it with the Worth Browns or whatever else, Fremont black lines, things like that, goes up by to $299. $299, handmade instrument, glossed. Oh, and as I said, the neck is satin, the body is glossed. That's a nice touch as well, always. That's not a lot of money. No, I have a lot of love for them because how sort of organic and natural they feel, and real, like like you've been in the workshop with the guy and watching him make it, which I've always liked about Noah. 289 quid, not a lot of money. Intriguing. Tenor, small body. Is it a super concert? I suppose I prefer baby tenor. The reason being is because the tenor bit is the important bit, because that's what the scale is. There's no such thing as a big jumbo concert. If it's got a tenor neck on it, it's a tenor with a small body, which is what this is. So baby tenor. It is extremely light for a tenor, obviously not a lot of body real estate, but still very, very light. It's light for a concert. 565 grams, it balances beautifully, and it's lovely to hold. It's lovely to hold. But we're going to have a play. Now, tenor scale instruments tend to be the more resonant because they're the bigger instrument, but it's partly to do with the scale length, but mainly to do with the more real estate in the body. The more body top you've got to vibrate, you're going to get more resonance. So obviously we're in the same register in natural standard tuning as soprano and concert, but you're not going to get as much resonance on a smaller body, which is what this has got. I hope these strings are really stretching, so I will keep the tuner on and keep a check on this. But is that smaller body going to let it down? They've gone out massively, sorry. I really should have probably settled these in before the review, but I will keep tuning. Right, volume and sustain first. Great volume. Wow, 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 wow. It doesn't sound like a concert. It doesn't sound like a tenor. Halfway house, which I suppose what it is. And that sustain's good as well. There. Yeah, that's good. And I'm getting brightness from that spruce. And some spruce top Noahs I've played have been a bit too bright for me. I think the Delta concert was a touch too bright for my taste. And this is sensibly the same woods, I think, but let's see whether that longer scale... I'm immediately sensing that this is bright, but there's something else there. It's very rounded. The rosewood's doing its job. It is bright, but there's something in the background that's pulling it back. I love that. That's really, really peppy. So it's like you're playing a smaller instrument, but it feels like I'm playing a tenor. It's not uncomfortable with this small body at all. Interesting. Picked is how I prefer tenors, and it's got the room on the fingerboard for this to be enjoyable, I hope, as long as I don't mess up the playing. Sorry. Only right that I just keep this in tune, and they are stretching. I should have played it a bit more. It's not been with me that long. Told you I'd mess up. The sustain's dropped a bit there, I think. Yeah, I think it's a bit more lively when it's strummed. But it's still pretty. Interesting. I like this a lot. Yeah, it is. It's a halfway house between tenor and concert, I think. Certainly got the feel. The volume isn't affected or the sustain by the smaller body. It's probably a bit more of a peppy, more jangly sort of strummers thing than a long sort of sustaining finger picks. It's not bad though. It's great. It's great. It's not overly bright. There's a brightness to it, but there's a rounded sound to the back as well. It all just sort of comes together. I really like the sound of it, and I really love the way it's sort of the dimensions of how it comes together. It's a very pretty, classy looking little instrument. One of my favourite Noahs I've looked at, I think. This is brand new. This is number 1, the first baby tenor. Really good, really good. Have a read of the full review. You'll see my full objective and subjective comments. Yeah, like some Noahs, you'll see a little bit of work from the hands of the man who made it. If such things bother you, go and get a Kala, you know, the sort of thing. Nothing wrong with Kala, I'm saying, but they are factory made. This is a diminutive, cute little thing. And Noah, nice company. Support the nice companies. The Noah Baby Tenor, brand new. Thank you very much to Matt Cohen for loaning me this one. I've really enjoyed looking at it. I think it's a cracker. Right. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed that. I will be with you again in 2 weeks' time. Loads of stuff coming up. Don't know, because we're doing this sort of 2-week cycle now, I never really know what's coming next, and they're open to change as well, so I don't know what's coming next. But until I see you again, have a very good time. Hopefully our summer is now here in Britain and we can get a bit warmer. We've had some horrible rainy cold weather for a couple of weeks. Hopefully it's on the turn. I think it is. And look after yourselves. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.